Hello and welcome to the International Market Entry presentation for Section 1, Group 2. Jessica Burnett, Justin Denby, Lorenz Denner, and narrated by myself, Chris Franz. And what we're going to talk to you about today is Costco entering into India. On the agenda for today is going to be our executive summary, international business strategy, market assessment, market entry strategies, business environment, which is going to touch on the national culture of India, their economic environment, some of the legal and political influences we're going to face, innovation in the MNCs, and finally, international strategy and structure. So a little bit more information. Costco is a US-based company from Issaquah, Washington, and we want to expand the warehouses into the new foreign market of India. An initial location is going to be established in Bangalore, with possible sites in the near future in Madurai and Coimbatore, based upon the initial success in the country. Research shows that their government is very interested in attracting businesses of our nature based on Walmart's entry, and similar to their platform, they want businesses like that to establish themselves in India. In addition, various factors contribute to the appeal of establishing a Costco warehouse in Bangalore. Costco is no stranger to entering into foreign markets and has done so quite well since the 1980s. In India, which is a BRIC nation, and BRIC stands for Brazil, Russia, India, and China, that joint collaboration appears to provide sufficient base to not only ensure the viability of Costco being sustainable and profitable, but it has minimal risks, including cooperation from the Indian government. So with that being said, Costco must ensure that it's sensitive to the local culture and norms, aware of the changes of local government, as well as overcoming possible hurdles regarding membership fees to the warehouse, and we'll discuss that a little bit further. So what is Costco's international business strategy going to be? Well, since the 1980s, we've had noteworthy success in 8 other countries: Canada, Mexico, United Kingdom, South Korea, Taiwan, Japan, Australia, and Spain. How do we do this, you ask? With opening warehouses in the largest metropolitan areas first, those which have the most disposable household income. To ensure that same success in India, we're going to look at those previous experiences to help ourselves become established in Bangalore. Another way we're going to do that is by joint venture. This is common practice in our other locations, and what we do is we partner with retailers and grocers to help keep our shelves stocked. The best opportunity in India is going to be that of Bharti Group. They have the best ability to not only provide a mutually beneficial relationship, but also they can provide the goods and services that don't directly compete with Costco. So to further add on to our business strategy, we're going to continue to push the marketing strategy of low price leadership compared to direct competition with that of Sam's Club. We're going to appeal to locals with American brands that provide local taste preferences to buyers, as was done in Taiwan, while being cognizant of the local traditions and cultural norms. Newly created branded products on a yearly basis specific to local tastes will increase brand recognition to strengthen. We're going to retain company return policy of hassle-free returns without question, as is in the rest of the Costco stores. And Items should be easily carried out and transported. So for those items that are larger and not as easy for consumers to transport, Costco is going to continue with their delivery services. In addition, we're going to offer various payment options for buyers, including cash, electronic fund transfer, points of sale, as well as credit cards. They're also going to primarily sell tangible goods rather than other ancillary items such as insurance, travel, and consultative services. We're also going to work with local media outlets to boost positive image and instill buyer confidence in the brand. We're also going to retain no frills, economically basic warehouses with limited SKUs, so greater than 4,000 to maximize space and keep costs low, but enough products available to the customers. We're also going to work with manufacturers as much as possible in the local region. This is going to reduce transportation costs and overhead with the handling of these items. In addition, the joint venture with Bahardi will help as they have established trade lines and means for providing goods and services to customers. So what is our assessment of that market in India? As indicated on the Costco company profile in our SWOT analysis, displays the advantages that Costco has of entering into a foreign market, particularly India, as our next stop. As Costco is a bulk wholesaler, it still has considerations it needs to make to ensure success in India. Of those, India has found the following benefits that are attractive for our business. They have a low risk of natural disasters. They have the second highest population in the world, with an estimated 1.3 billion people. Further demographic studies have shown that the household size supports the bulk buying model. Finally, with regard to the population, by the year 2050, they are expected to have the highest population in the world, surpassing China. India also has a stable democracy. India, as part of BRIC, is one of the largest emerging economies in the world. The fast-growing economy has potential for significant profits, similar to the experience that we had in Seoul, South Korea, providing potential expansion throughout the country. The fast-growing population will support the business, unlike the experience in Spain, which had much lower birth rates. The high rate of unemployment has potential to find enough local labor for initial and future expansion. In addition, employment also means additional household income to spend on bulk items. While Costco is a true wholesaler, it does have significant competition from others. As far as the local competition, there's nothing that directly competes with Costco today. The competitive analysis of that market currently reflects Walmart, Amazon, Metro Incorporated, Carrefour Group, Home Depot, and Best Buy. Now, onto our market entry strategies. After looking at the country as a whole and scanning a variety of opportunities and the previously described detailed analysis, Costco's potential for entry into India, specifically main population centers such as Bangalore, Madurai, and Coimbatore, has identified Bangalore as the best option. These locations are not only densely populated, but they offer logistical advantages with their close proximity to the ports, where high volumes of freight can warrant reduced logistical costs. The strategy of Costco's expansion into foreign markets has always taken a significantly concentrated Costco approach. Additional market entry strategies are going to be to utilize the local product manufacturers and cuisine partners, as we previously discussed, to promote local economic growth. Again, this is not only beneficial to Costco, but it is for India's local government and small businesses. This also appeals to the host country preferences and allows for sales in floor space and simplifies supply chain in being able to deliver from the local partners. Although Costco is not a franchise opportunity, the joint venture is going to allow for partnerships to be developed and everyone to be prosperous in the new venture. Now, moving on to the national culture of India. India's relatively similar business environment to larger countries. It doesn't require a great deal of adjustments to the business acumen of Costco. India's national culture is heavily centered around their beliefs, with approximately 80% of the population practicing the Hindu religion, followed by roughly 15% of the Muslim religion. So needless to say, culture has a profound impact. How that works with Costco is that although meat and eggs are typically not consumed in these religious beliefs, these are the only significant products Costco would need to remove from their shelves as not to incur cultural offenses. With the remaining 15% of the Muslim population, halal offerings are already part of Costco's existing products. So although there are a few different cultural things to take into consideration, it's nothing that Costco is not already practicing throughout its other stores. So we've covered a lot so far, but now it's time to talk about the economic environment. India used to be a protectionist state for a long time, but the country has become progressively more open to international trade through the implementation of economic liberalization measures that began in the 1990s, including industrial deregulation, privatization of state-owned enterprises, and reduced controls on foreign trade and investment. These changes have resulted in India becoming the fastest growing major economy in the world, ranking 5th in the list of the world's richest nations. Further benefiting Costco in the long run, the UN projects that India's urbanization rate will rise to 42% or 64 million by 2035, with the parallel creation of substantial and aspirational consumer class that underpins optimism for future growth in the Indian economy. India's middle class is also set to grow rapidly from up to 80 million to 580 million people, or about 41% of the population by 2025. So now on to the legal and political environment in India. India is one of the largest democracies in the world, and it runs on a federal form of government. Foreign investments into India are governed by a comprehensive foreign direct investment policy issued annually by the Department of Industrial Policy and Promotion. India's taxation system is well developed and has several taxes such as income tax, services tax, and sales tax that are imposed by the government. There is currently a 30% corporate tax rate. However, the government has announced that this would be progressively reduced to 25% over the next 4 years. So that's a big bonus for Costco. The labor laws in India are also particularly complicated with 50 laws nationally and as many as 150 additional laws at the state level. So although it complicates things for India's legal and political environment, Costco's experience operating in global business environments and dealing with various jurisdictions and labor laws, it provides it with ample experience to be able to successfully navigate once we do enter India. Innovation. Although Costco is not creating new products, how we sell them will be. We can use our buying power to offer lower prices to consumers that's lower than typical retailers in India. Based on our current structure, we're going to be able to provide one-stop shopping, not only for groceries, but items like TVs, computers, etc., which is not a strong point of retailers in India. We're also going to be able to focus on making products less expensive, thereby having the ability for higher sales. So what's our strategy and structure going to be? Well, we're going to promote the benefits of the membership that are implemented around the world. It's going to offer membership fees that have cash back at the end of the year. Also, what we're going to do is use the strategies that were successful in our foreign markets and see if they can be applied in India. With fresh foods and Kirkland private label and pharmacy items accounting for 3 of our largest revenue producers, we're going to rely heavily on the success as we enter into the India market. And before we enter and before future expansion, what we're going to do is hire regional directors who are familiar with the consumer market in India to help us develop that concept store. This is a common practice in Costco's management chain, so we're going to stick to that. The regional director is going to have the experience working with multinational corporations and is going to be able to lead and be the point person for the future expansion. We're also going to identify other markets within India with the highest per capita income, as well as the highest population density for the future expansion. So in summary, we think that Costco is going to be very successful in India, and it's a great opportunity for India as well. So from myself, Jessica, Justin, Lorenz, we want to say thank you for listening to our presentation.